Hey guys, welcome back to a new video, and today we have a gunsmith analysis of the Peacekeeper assault rifle. This weapon has received mixed opinions where some people like it while some people immensely dislike it. So today we will be going over the base weapon statistics and have an in-depth explanation of the attachment stats, finally ending with some of the best gunsmith builds we can make and if this weapon can be part of the current meta or not. The Peacekeeper in the 10 meter range deals 26 average damage and the hitboxes are very precise, so we can't rely on getting chest shots, thus 26 is the base damage. And we have a base 274 milliseconds time to kill, which isn't bad and faster than the average assault rifle time to kill. From 11 meters to 26 meters, we have a 5-shot kill range which takes 365 milliseconds, which isn't too bad, but we do stand a chance at getting outgunned by the other guns which are used in this range. If we can land 2 chest shots, we can get a 4-shot kill however, thus giving us a faster time to kill. The next range is from 27 meters to 40 meters and then 41 meters and above. And I wouldn't recommend taking fights at this range because the time to kill is really slow and it is simply not worth it. Thus we have an effective range of 0 to 30 meters, which is quite good since majority of our fights will happen in this range. The movement speed is quite standard compared to the assault rifle average, and the ADS speeds are a bit weird due to the frame rounding, and we can get both 16 frames and 17 frame values, probably because it is 33 frames and 120 frames per second. Why these differences happen in 60 frames? I have made a community post on it which I'll link if anyone wants to read more. The sprint to ADS and sprint to hipfire values are also standard. Thus overall, if you look at the base stats, it seems like a pretty mediocre weapon since it doesn't seem to excel at anything, and there is no incentive to use it over other guns like the KN-44 for example. However, the attachments we get are what makes this gun worthwhile to use as a main weapon, and currently the attachments are also unique only for the Peacekeeper. First, let's start with rear grips. We have options between increasing the ADS speed by 2 frames with no negative downsides or improving the flinch by 90%, which is crazy good and much better than applying strike stock on other guns. Finally, we have firm grip, which also gives us flinch stability and 3 frames faster ADS speed for 1 frame slower sprint to fire speed, which slows down both the sprint to hip fire and sprint to ADS. This overall is the best attachment to use as the slower sprint to fire is made up by the ADS speed increase and only the sprint to hip fire is slower. But we also get flinch stability as a bonus which helps. So definitely apply this attachment in your gunsmith builds. It is a must-have on each and every build. Next we look into the barrels, and this is what gives the Peacekeeper its identity. We can make the Peacekeeper into an anti-SMG build or a main AR build, all through applying an appropriate barrel. There are various options available, but the best option is the Task Force barrel, which increases the 4-shot range to 16 meters and the 5-shot range to 38 meter. And we also get a fire rate boost which helps us with faster time to kill. For the negatives, we get increased horizontal and vertical recoil. I will cover the other barrels in a bit, but we apply this one for now. Speaking of recoil, the recoil pattern is zigzag, which isn't the easiest pattern to control, why I definitely recommend a recoil control attachment. The best options are the Field Agent foregrip and the standard foregrip. I personally don't like the Field Agent foregrip as the ADS movement speed, which is already slow, becomes even more slower, and we are like a sitting duck and an easy kill for the enemy. The vertical recoil is quite manageable and the 40% horizontal recoil is amazing, but I personally recommend the standard foregrip as the 10% difference between the horizontal recoil is practically negligible, and we get to maintain our ADS movement speed as well. Thus, this is the best foregrip and I'll apply this attachment. Next, the base bullets in the mag are only 25, which is quite less and we definitely need an extended mag. I personally would recommend the extended mag A over the double stack mag, simply because both of these mags can be reload cancelled very near to each other and the 1 frame ADS speed increase of the double stack mag is unnecessary. It can be used however, although I will recommend to use the extended mag A and apply it. For the final attachment, we have a couple options. We can apply a stock and all of them are useful and can be used. The lightweight stock is used for increasing the strafing speed, which is necessary since with the prone nerf, jump shots are more viable now, and if we have good ADS movement speed, we jump farther. Otherwise, we can use the marathon stock to make up for the sprint to fire decrease of the firm grip. Otherwise, apply the no stock for even more decrease, or the agile stock, which in my opinion is the best stock to use, and the only con is we have to always ADS and shoot even in close ranges, since hipfire takes a hard hit with this stock and we can't rely on hipfire anymore. But the pros in my opinion outweighs the cons. Otherwise, if we look into lasers, the 5MW laser can be used for getting good hipfire, and I wouldn't recommend using the no stock or the agile stock if we are using the 5MW laser. Otherwise, the aim assist laser is the best as it gives us a combination of two good bullet spread accuracy attachments like the tactical grip plus the granulated grip in one attachment, and our aim at range is very stable with this attachment. Otherwise, in muzzles, the one which are worth using are the muzzle brake for vertical recoil control, light suppressor or the agency suppressor for sound suppression. Between these suppressors, it comes down to personal preference which one you want to use. The light suppressor gives us 1 meter more 4-shot range compared to the agency suppressor and 3 meter more 5-shot range, but the agency suppressor gives us less vertical recoil too. Thus, up to preference. I personally use the light suppressor, but it is fine if you want to use the agency suppressor as well. Finally, the flash guard can be used for hiding the muzzle flash. Thus, if we want a suppressed build, we can use this build, or if we want a mid-range to longer range build, we can use the laser. And this build is also one of Mr. Roy's recommendations, who is a research team member. Otherwise, for a close range build, we use the agile stock, and this is also one of Mr. Roy's recommendations. And those were some of the best Peacekeeper builds we can make. Do take a note, the mag can be switched to double stack mag, and the foregrip can be switched to the field agent grip. I personally wouldn't recommend them, but if you want to use them, you can. So these are the alternate classes we can make from the base class which I just showed. And one of the good things I liked about the Peacekeeper is that there are so many attachments which don't have any negatives, and we can just add on to the base stats and have a really good build. For example, my first build which I made had the well-forged barrel for getting more range and Russell grip with lightweight stock for improving the mobility. And it was a good build to use, although I will recommend switching to the task force barrel and letting the rest stay as it is. And we can use this as our main build if needed. And if you're not into strafing, the aim assist laser can be applied. The only negative will be the recoil increase, otherwise all the stats are bonus and we add on to the base stats. Try making your own bonus classes like this and see if you like them or not. And if you're wondering what build I use for the gameplay in this video, I was using the agile stock and double stack mag, as the base bullet spread accuracy is good enough to not need the aim assist laser, and I can use attachments to enhance the other aspects of this gun. If you are going to spray longer ranges, I will recommend the aim assist laser in that case. The other barrel which can be used is the rapid fire barrel. It reworks the base damage profile, so we have a 3-shot range till 7 meters if we can get all chest shots, and the 4-shot range extends to 16 meters. Thus, this barrel works the best for an anti-SMG build. From 17 meter onwards, the damage is just not worth it, and I wouldn't recommend using for mid and longer ranges. For making a build with this barrel, I have 2 recommendations. First one is if we always ADS, and in that case the agile stock can be used, and I will recommend the foregrip since the recoil is much easier to control in close range, and the double stack mag can be applied in this case, finally finishing off with the firm grip. It is purely a mobility based class and the recommended changes are the same. Either the field agent foregrip or the extended mag A can be applied. The only thing we need to make sure when using this build is don't hip fire, always ADS. The second build is the hipfire, and the only change is applying the 5MW laser instead of the stock. And since it increases the ADS speed by 1 frame, I will opt for the extended mag A in this case, since I still want to have fast ADS speed. I wouldn't recommend this change, but we can remove the foregrip and apply either the marathon stock or the light stock if needed. Granted, we can control the recoil pattern, which should be easier in closer ranges, otherwise just use the foregrip and in closer ranges hipfire. And finally, if you look at the rest of the barrels, the long range barrel seems to be amazing, especially for BR, since we basically have double the base range and it can help out a lot in BR. I'll mention more on this when we go into the BR section, and I already mentioned instead of the well-forged barrel, the task force barrel should be applied, so we can disregard it. And finally, is it worth using the built-in silencer barrel? I personally would say no. The task force plus the light suppressor combination I showed you earlier has similar range as this barrel, kill, but we get faster time to kill due to the increased rate of fire. Thus this barrel isn't necessary, although we use 2 attachment slots and have very slight increased recoil. And regarding optics, the iron sights are really good and I wouldn't recommend an optic attachment as they simply waste an attachment slot. Overall, I have covered most of the important attachments and good build combinations which we can make. So feel free to use them and make changes as necessary. Like in the first build I showed, if mag is not needed, then we can switch it out for getting stable long range sprays or sound suppression for example. Thus take your pick and change what you will to make a gunsmith build which suits you the best. I have given you the knowledge and I have set you free. Coming to Battle Royale, I first wanted to see how it will stack up with the AK-47, which is the most used weapon currently in BR. Going by the base time to kill values using 150 health and level 3 vest, the AK-47 has a 876 milliseconds time to kill till 29 meters, and then till 36 meters it has 1095 milliseconds time to kill, and from there onwards it is 1204 milliseconds time to kill. Compare this with the base Peacekeeper and we will see that the AK-47 is the better alternative. Although the time to kill difference isn't huge, but it is still there. Thus previously I did suggest a long range barrel can be applied for BR, but we will need the task force barrel, as the faster fire rate will help decrease our time to kill. With task force barrel we have a 833 time to kill till 16 meters and then 917 milliseconds time to kill till 38 meters, which are both very competitive and can outperform the AK-47 at certain ranges. Thus for our BR build we will start with that. The next 2 essential attachments are the aim assist laser, so we are deadly accurate at range, and the firm grip, mainly for the 90% decrease to flinch. Then we definitely need a foregrip for some recoil control, and we can use both the field agent foregrip or the standard foregrip. And finally the base 25 bullets are really low, thus we will need an extended mag, and I will go with the double stack mag here, and that will be the BR class I recommend. I personally have used and tested it myself and I really like playing with it, and I will choose the Peacekeeper over the AK-47 for my playstyle in BR. Lastly, I wanted to discuss more on why the Peacekeeper has a place in the current meta, but the video is becoming long and I will be covering it in my top weapons to use season 13 video, thus I will explain it in depth there. But do know the Peacekeeper is a meta weapon and better than the BK, the KN and also the HVK large caliber ammo. And I would consider it better than the LK24 as well, but the LK is a much easier to use weapon, thus it will come down to preference. I'll have the in-depth analysis soon in the best guns to use season 13 video. Till then, thank you for watching and I hope you liked it. Please share this video around as it took a lot of hard work and effort to compile all these stats, and give this video a like and subscribe with the bell icon to get more gunsmith analysis and best class setups in your notifications. I will see you again very soon. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy and have a good day. Take care guys and bye.
Hardpoint locked down. Hardpoint contested.